For KBRFradio.com News, I'm News Director Derek Sidian, and this is the weekly news recap brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonmemorial.com, memorials that matter. As we get into August, the Highway 210 I-94 interchange reconstruction project hit some of its major milestones. On Wednesday, crews poured the bridge deck, marking a significant point in the construction's progress. MnDOT engineer Jesse Miller says that there are still many more steps until the bridge is complete, but the deck pour is a big milestone for the project. Crews will be waiting for the concrete to cure before beginning the next steps next week. The roundabout west of the bridge that intersects Redwood Lane is starting to take shape, with crews finishing the curb and gutter around it earlier this week. Miller says a concrete crew is scheduled to begin paving in between the curbs starting next week. The portion of Western Avenue on the north side of Lincoln that was closed for utility work this week is now open. The south side will have work done at a later date. Miller says that the project is still on track to be completed on schedule despite the intense heat. News updates on the Highway 210 I-94 interchange reconstruction project are powered by Falls Laundromat and Vector Windows. A Fergus Falls man was arrested for soliciting a minor after an online concerned citizen group posed as a 14-year-old girl. Police say an adult representative of the group reached out at around 9:30 last Friday morning to inform officers that 41-year-old Braxton Anderson had sent sexually explicit images to them under the impression that they were a 14-year-old girl. They also said Anderson planned to meet with the fake teen north of Fergus Falls. The representative confronted Anderson at his home and subsequently called police. Investigators reviewed evidence presented by the representative and arrested Anderson after an interview. A search warrant was conducted at Anderson's residence to locate and seize the devices used for communicating to the reported 14-year-old. While searching for the devices, police discovered about 7.5 grams of methamphetamine. Anderson made his first court appearance Monday morning and has been charged with 3 related counts of electronic solicitation of a minor and third-degree drug possession in a park zone. A teacher from Underwood has lost his teaching license after pleading guilty to stepping on students' backs during a school lockdown drill. On Wednesday, 49-year-old Jason Rogers was sentenced to 2 years on probation and had to forfeit his teaching license after he pleaded guilty to 3 counts of malicious punishment of a child. Prosecutors say that Rogers purposefully stepped on 3 of his students that were lying down during a lockdown drill on February 10th of last year. Rogers told deputies that he told students that were laying on their stomachs to sit up because they could get stepped on. He said he didn't feel the class was taking the drill seriously, so he put his foot on one of the students' backs and stepped on it. He heard the student groan and begin to cry and stepped off them. Prosecutors say Rogers was over 350 pounds at the time of the incident. Deputies spoke with the student's mother a few days after the incident, and she told them that her child was walking around like an 80-year-old from the pain in their back. Rogers also admitted to stepping on 2 other students during the drill. The women's restroom at Fiesta Brava in Fergus Falls has been vandalized. Police were called to the restaurant at around 3 o'clock Wednesday afternoon after receiving a report that 2 women had caused damage to the bathroom ceiling. Fiesta Brava posted a video about the incident on social media showcasing the damage. In the post, the company said the damage not only creates extra work for the staff, but also affects the experience of every customer who uses the facilities. The company also accused the women of leaving without paying their bill. This incident follows news from a couple weeks ago that a former employee of Fiesta Brava had been charged for setting up a camera and taking images of women in the restroom. Police say citations are being mailed to the 2 women for damages. A juvenile was struck by a car while riding their bike in Fergus Falls Wednesday afternoon. Police say that at around 3:50, the vehicle attempted to turn north onto Union Avenue from Summit and struck the young bicyclist as they were heading south on the pedestrian crosswalk at that intersection. Police say the juvenile's injuries appeared to be minor, and they were taken to Lake Region Healthcare by a parent. No other details have been released. University of Minnesota President Rebecca Cunningham visited the East Ottertail County Fair Saturday, July 25th, touring the fairgrounds and presenting the county's Farm Family of the Year Award. Ottertail County Commissioner Dan Buchholz of District 1 joined University of Minnesota Extension staff and 4-H Youth Ambassador Lucy Minton to lead President Cunningham on a tour of the fairgrounds. The tour included stops at popular food vendors and 4-H areas. President Cunningham also presented the Farm Family of the Year Award to Dennis and Melissa Froning during her visit. The visit was part of a broader stop at the fair that included media interviews, a meet and greet with fairgoers at the university's outdoor booth, and a celebration marking the University of Minnesota's 175th anniversary. Filing for the Fergus Falls City Council and School Board is now closed. For the City Council, Ward 1 incumbent Laura Jobe is running unopposed. Scott Kwame and Eric Swanson are running in Ward 2. In Ward 3, Al Kramer and Alex Kutsky are competing, and in Ward 4 there is a three-way race between Scott Rachels, Miranda Lape, and Dwayne Cookman. 5 people filed for the Fergus Falls School Board: Dr. Thea Franson, John Magnuson, Nicholas Gano, Eliza Robertson, and Zachary Blumberg. The ballots are heading to the printer for the general election on November 3rd. For KBRFradio.com News, I'm Derek Sidian. Tune in at 5 o'clock every Friday afternoon on KBRFradio.com or the Fergus Now app to stay up to date with local news. Find more stories on KBRFradio.com. Sign up for email news sent right to your inbox, delivered by Cooper's Office Supply.